Senator Kabassi.
President, tonight the government faced a test. Tonight's budget was a test to see if Labor could deliver a budget for the next 5 years, not for the next 5 weeks or so. And, President, they have undoubtedly failed that test. Their budgets so far have been lost opportunities. We have seen 2 windfall gains completely wasted, and now we have deficits far into the future, a further impost on young Australians. Strong gains have been squandered, with Labor locking in deficits for at least the next decade. Despite the messaging of those opposite over the last 3 years, this Labor budget reveals $1 trillion in debt in 2025-2026. Sadly, it reveals that Australians will pay almost $10 billion more in income taxes over the next 5 years. Our superannuation accounts will be hit with almost $10 billion in extra taxes over the next 5 years. Australians needed a budget that showed courageous leadership, a budget that restored the standard of living that has been lost under this government. Australians' standard of living have collapsed further and faster than ever before under Labor. This budget needed to be one that restored our prosperity and opportunity for all Australians, a budget that restored the fiscal guardrails, the disciplines and the honesty that has served Australians well in budgets past. This budget has failed. But Peter Dutton and the Coalition have a plan, and the Australian people will hear that plan on Thursday night. We have a plan to restore prosperity, a plan to get cost of living under control by tackling inflation head-on sustainably, to reduce energy prices, to deliver affordable homes, to deliver quality health care, and to keep Australians safe by safer communities. No matter what tricky lines the Treasurer dreamed up tonight, it cannot stop the reality. We are paying more for rent, more for food, more for power and more for gas. Under Labor, we've had the biggest fall in living standards in the developed world. Since the last election, the price of everything remains nearly 11% higher than the previous election. Food 13.3% up, housing up 14.4% and rent up 18%. Gas is up 34.2%. A family with a typical mortgage has paid an extra $50,000 in interest payments since this government came to power, and we'll keep repeating that fact because that is a painful fact. $50,000 in interest payments extra since this government came to power. That's $50,000 that those households will never get back. The Labor government has consistently made bad decisions and held the wrong priorities throughout its entire term in this parliament. This 4th budget is unlikely to do anything in restoring what Labor has cost Australians, and we cannot afford another 3 years of it. Small businesses have endured the worst of Labor's incompetence, despite claims from those opposite that the Australian economy has turned the corner. Fresh ASIC business insolvency data reveals a grim reality. 2025 has had the worst start of any year on record for business failures. In January alone, 727 Australian businesses became insolvent, breaking a 12-year record. February saw 1,214 businesses close for good, smashing a 13-year record. That's month-on-month records. The Prime Minister has now overseen 28,962 business collapses since taking office, and the responsibility for these failures lies squarely at his feet. Our iconic cafes, restaurants and small businesses have been hammered by Labor's high-cost economy, and we have lost 1 in 10 hospitality businesses as a result. With business failures on the rise, the need for change is clear. As we see rising bankruptcies and closures, Australians cannot afford another 3 years of a government that has failed to protect those who drive our economy forward. The reality is that the $150 subsidy barely scratches the surface, and for many Australians won't even cover anticipated increases in energy prices. Writing in the Sydney Morning Herald tonight, economics editor Ross Gittin sums up the ambition of this government perfectly This government is timid, uninspired and uninspiring. This budget
Thank you,
fits
Senator
it perfectly.
Kovacic. Time has expired.